Now we have the stems exported, and it's time to start importing it into a new project in your digital audio workstation. So here I've been opening an empty project file in Cubase, and I'm just going to navigate to the stems, which I can find here. Now the first stage is to just import all of these into Cubase. So I'm just going to drag and drop it and paste them to different tracks. Okay, so apparently there's been some strange stuff happening with the order of everything, so I'm just going to take this and move it to the bottom. Now I think everything should be in the right order. Yeah, more or less. I'm gonna rename these things: flute, legato, flute, runs, oboe, legato, staccato. And now starts the fun work of renaming and labeling and structuring everything from scratch again. But on the bright side, this is a template you can use for your future mixes as well. So it's a one-time process, more or less. Over to the percussion. Okay, so there are two things that do not belong here. Some horns and some flutes that ended up at the bottom because I added them late in the project. So let's take the flute. And the horns should be down here, I suppose. Yeah, so now everything, let me see. I want to take the downers, the hit, and this sub hit and bring it up to the rest of the percussion next to the rolls and the booms. So now we have everything in one place, but the thing is that it's all just a gray mass of nothing, more or less, at this point. So what I want to start doing again is to divide things into folders. And now I'm not gonna do it as much as I did in the recording project. I'm just gonna do it for the individual groups. I'm gonna create one for woodwinds, strings, brass, choirs, we have percussion, we have effects, and then we have some like ethnic stuff. I think that's all. I'm just gonna start adding it into their different folders, making the woodwinds like that. Strings are red again. Take the brass. Making those this orange color. No. There we go. Wires. I think we made those like pink or something. Then we have the percussion. I guess all this can be considered percussion together with these bamboo jingles, drum kit hats. Yeah, that's all percussion. Then we have all the effects, the booms, sub hits, and those kind of things. And then we have the piano. We'll take that together with the ethnic ones. Or actually, I'll make a new one for keyboards. Whoops. With also the pads and the pluck. Actually, we'll take all this under keyboards. And we'll just delete the ethnic one. Now everything should be in their own folders. Let's make the effect like green. Keyboards can be bright blue. And it seems like all of them, they have their own colors, which is going to make everything a lot easier. Now, I'm going to start adding some group channel tracks. I guess we need, let's say, 7 of those. One is going to be the master. And we have the strings, brass, wood, winds, choirs, effects, keyboards. What did I forget here now? Percussion. Just gonna make those the right colors as well, just to make everything a little bit easier to navigate. And master is bright green. I'm just gonna take this and put it on the top of the entire project. And I won't bother coloring this because I have the folders and it colors all the audio. So I'm pretty okay with this for now. And we have the correct names of everything. So now we have most of the tracks, or all of the tracks added in, and we have color coded and labeled them properly. The next thing I want to add in, oh wait, let me just add this to the top of the track. The next thing I want to add in here is a track for our reference mix, because it's an extremely important part of the mixing process. Having a professionally recorded and mixed reference track. I'm going to check up upon this mix pretty frequently to make sure my mix has a proper balance, and it's going to be a nice way to keep my ears tuned into a professional mix. And the reference track of my choice for this is actually another of my tracks that I've been creating earlier, but it's a professional mix by a great mixer from LA called Toby Mason. And I want to use this because it is using the same libraries as me, and it's also not recorded live, so I know all of the work that makes this sound better than this is purely in the mixing. It's not in the source material, it's not that's been live recorded, it's not by the players, so I know that I am actually physically capable of achieving this result because it's the same source material. So I'm going to use this as the reference mix, which sounds like this. Okay, so that's the reference track we're going to work with. The first thing I want to do is to set up the routing of the project properly. So the first thing we're going to do is to make sure that all the flute tracks here are going to the woodwind channel, and then the strings should be going to the string channel here. The same with the horns and the brass instruments in general. Now all the percussion. Sound effects. And finally the keyboards.